It's Monday. Is it Monday? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Monday. So sick of this racist crap. This racist crap. This racist crap. I'm happy where I am, where everybody's miserable. I know how to do radio, 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 radio. So sick of this racist crap. This racist crap. This racist crap. So sick of this racist crap. This racist crap. This racist crap.
All right, I'm going to attempt to do a drawing of Scarlett Johansson as Two-Face from Batman, because apparently she's going to be in the movie along with Sebastian Stan, but the rumor is with him apparently playing the character of Harvey Dent and her as his wife. Which there's stories recently through the Long Halloween stories and stuff like that about her, going over the edge as well, and becoming a serial killer and stuff like that. So maybe that's the approach they would take. But the other approach is to borrow from another iteration where there was a female Two-Face. She's the twin sister of Harvey Dent, and she loses her mind when Harvey dies, and so on and so forth. And a gender swap, basically. And if that's what they're doing, then, well, I think it's pretty predictable that's not going to be a good idea. But nevertheless, I recorded a video on it on the Sunday Comics show, and then I cut that out, and we'll use that as a Nailsin ratings video. But for the corner art in the video, I need a image of Scarlett Johansson as Two-Face. So first things first, I will draw that, and then we'll move over to Photoshop, where I'll go over Dabbleverse characters, mostly Karmic, and I'm already forgetting who. Well, most of them I've already done. A funnel there, a new Karmic image, and I'll just give an overview of ones I did over the weekend and stuff like that. So anyway, let me go ahead and get into this business of Scarlett as the female Two-Face. So that's what they're thinking they'll do. I don't think anyone's interested in that, but early on, when it was leaking out that yes, she was in discussions to be in the movie. It's a movie that's supposed to open next year, so they're going to start working on this very soon. And so I would take it that it's a done deal, that you've got your cast ready to go, and for whatever the script calls for. So it was said that Scarlett would actually be playing a villainous role. So immediately all kinds of suggestions, Harley Quinn, something of that nature. Not Harley. Well, maybe, but no. Poison Ivy was one that came up a lot. But ultimately, when Two-Face gets mentioned and that sort of thing, then it's like, oh, okay, maybe she would play Gilda, and it's looking more again that's who she would play, but it won't go quite the way it went in the comic book story. In the comics with Long Halloween, it was revealed that perhaps Gilda, and it was a bit confusing. It's like there were several people running in to be the Holiday Killer, which was a killer who was killing different mobsters on specific holidays throughout the year. So it begins on Halloween, and then of course ends on the following Halloween a year later. So a year from one October to the other, And as the story unfolded, a lot of the Batman villains all showed up in the story, that sort of thing. And with some possibly being the killer, but for the most part, he realized no, it was someone else, and there was quite a few suspects, but the story of Two-Face unfolded in there, and I mean, it's one thing, that initially it's like, oh, well, Harvey Dent had these issues, and when he's attacked and the acid's thrown in his face, it really pushes him over the edge, and that's the situation there. But would it necessarily mean his wife would also go crazy? Well, in this story, that's exactly what happened. She goes a little nutty as well. And could be just that, she was desperately in love with Harvey Dent. So that would be the deal. In the Earth 1 story, which was this DC attempt similar to Marvel's Ultimate Comics thing they did. Right now, DC's doing that with the Absolute Comics, but at the time, Earth 1 was one where they would just produce these graphic novels, so they were hardbound books, and there was a new version of Superman, a new version of Batman, and Wonder Woman, Green Lantern got one. I think there was a Teen Titans one. I never read that one. But, stuff like that. And then, well, it folded. I think Superman got 2 volumes. Batman got 3. I can't remember. I think Green Lantern and Wonder Woman got 2. I read the first Wonder Woman. Earth 1 book, but I can't remember. Yeah, there was a second one. I'll have to look into that. But that was how that went. But anyway, it's a reimagining somewhat. I mean, most of it stays pretty much intact. And so a lot of the Matt Reeves Batman, it was thought that Long Halloween was the main influence, and to some extent it was. It's the Falcone family and all that sort of stuff going on in there, and then revealing that Catwoman Selena Kyle was his daughter and all that. Well, that's definitely out of there, and that sort of thing. So it's like, oh, okay, he's borrowing that. But when it came to Penguin, I don't know, that was a bit reminiscent of the Earth One story, somewhat, not exactly, but and then but even more to point, it was the Riddler and how he was depicted and that sort of thing. So it stands to reason that Reeves was drawing from those two for influence and ideas and whatnot. Not very well, in my opinion, but that's what he did. The Penguin series, of course, is vastly superior to the Batman movie. It's a really great show. So much so that I kind of thought, hey, the guys really, I know that Reeves had input on it, but I forget who all was really in charge. And I'm like, well, maybe they should be doing the Batman because they were just so much better at this. So, but, but the other clue as for that this could be the deal, that they're just going to have Scarlett Johansson with the makeup on, with the half face blown off and all that sort of, or burned off or whatever, is Matt Reeves says, oh, we've got this script and we're depicting a villain that's never been done before. So, of course, we say, hey, if they're borrowing from these stories and it's been done in those stories, yeah, but he means in cinema, in movie form, film. And it was like, oh, I wonder if a villain that's never been depicted. Well, a lot of them have. Two-Face has been depicted at least twice. Had him in back in the 90s in the Batman Forever movie with Tommy Lee Jones playing the character. Then of course in The Dark Knight, had him in that. But it was all very brief, and it wasn't really the Two-Face story per se. They did a good job of it. They set him up as and especially in that iteration, that Bruce Wayne had a lot of hope for Harvey Dent being the guy who's going to really change Gotham City for the better and all that sort of stuff. Then the added thing that, oh, well, the love of his life girlfriend was now engaged to be married to Harvey, but it's this guy that Bruce Wayne really looks up to. So he's like, oh, well, I can't be trying to get my old girl back when this guy who could possibly be the salvation of Gotham is in love with her, and she wants to marry him, and oh, gee, and all that. But so it added an extra layer to it all. Nothing like that was in the comic book lore as far as Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent being into the same girl, or woman rather. But that's and that's how they did it. As far as a further exploration of the character, it would have been interesting if they would set it up, and if there was, because the Penguin show was so well done, if Batman is to only remain a movie thing, then the movies could set up more follow-up and character study of villains. Of course, Two-Face would be a little different, whereas Penguin certainly does fit in with the mob boss type guy. in that. And you could certainly do that with him. As far as Two-Face goes, he would have a criminal gang, but they would mostly be, committing robberies and whatnot and stuff like that would have something to do with duality and, which is his obsession and that sort of thing. But that's if you continue with the original character in those stories. If you're making it a woman, well, you might notice that men and women are different, so the parameters would be different, the approaches, and what exactly is her motive and whatnot. And but I suppose some of the things she would be involved in robberies and whatnot. Now in the Earth 1 one, they had it where the Jessica Dent character had an attraction to Bruce Wayne, and so that was, Batman's all brokenhearted that she's lost her mind, and he's like, God, why can't I just meet a normal woman? They're either kleptomaniac cat burglars or serial killers. Oh, yeah. So, so I don't know. Probably that is the deal. There will be some sort of romantic interest, and maybe even pursue that again. But that would be taken again, and which a lot of what Reeves seems to be trying to do his own version of Nolan's, Dark Knight movies, which is like, well, Nolan did it first. You needed to come at it from a different angle or whatnot, and he really hasn't. And I was very disappointed in the Batman film. It promised a detective story. It really didn't deliver that. And it's just Batman solves the crime kind of by accident. And the Riddler pretty much has to spell it out for him. I mean, so bad. And then dumb things about he gets knocked out and the police catch him and they just, hey, let's find out who he is. And Gordon is like, no, let's don't. And they're like, what? They most certainly would do that. You can go on and on, but it's pretty bad. Then they do this crime drama series with Penguin, and it's brilliant. And I was like, holy crap. It would have been cool to actually have, Batman show up in it. But, well, they didn't. And the bat signal shows up at the end, but oh, well, what are you going to do? All right. I think that'll wake. And I'll do that with Scarlett Johansson as Two-Face. Now there were, female mobsters on occasion, but still, handled differently here and there. I'm not entirely certain. And of course, it would be set in more or less the modern age that the Batman film is set. So I'm not entirely certain what she would do, but with Harvey, it was if you're going to actually have Harvey Dent in it, but I don't know, he dies and his wife loses her mind because he's dead, something of that pushes her over the edge, and then she ends up being scarred from either the event, or if it's like in the Earth 1 where she loses her mind and grabs Harvey while he's burning and presses her face into his burning face and burns her face as well. Something like that. But in that one, she had ran for mayor and won, so she was in politics. But for Harvey, he was the the district attorney, was sure political, but also very obsessed with, law and judgment and stuff like that. So when he loses, his marbles, it stands to reasons what his motivations are. But then I suppose you could say that, well, they're very similar people, and they were driven by the same things, and that's what kind of brought them together for the marriage and everything. So I suppose that would be the deal. And then, then it's probably like Harvey Dent will not survive the attack, and that'll be the motivation for Gilda to become Two-Face. Whereas, if they're still doing it where she has this romantic interest in Batman or Bruce Wayne, then it's like, yeah, but she's so torn up and obsessed with her husband and his fate. Figure that one out, If they're just doing it for the gender swap thing, it's like, which is, if they're doing it, it's really stupid. But if they really think, oh, this will be a compelling, variation and whatnot, as if there's been tons of Two-Face movies, there haven't. And you're talking about a decades-old character in comic books, but you're doing a comic book movie, so it should bear some weight. Otherwise, make up something else of your own. But the problem of the current era and what's happened over the woke era is that if you get a whiff of wokeness on any project, no matter how unfair, public is more than likely not to show up. Should consider it, but so far it appears they do not. All right, so there she is. That'll work as the image of female Two-Face, and I will put that into Photoshop and give it color. Yes, color. So I'll take a break here with Nailsin News, and then when that ends, we'll come back in Photoshop with this and other drawings that I will add color to. Yes. All right, check out this little story from Nailsin News. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Grammy-winning gospel star and Long Island pastor accused of sexually abusing male personal assistant. Yeah. A Grammy-winning gospel singer and pastor allegedly sexually abused his personal assistant, then sent an apology email declaring himself the epitome of a dirty old man. Is it Giuseppe or Giuseppe? Let's just say Giuseppe. Giuseppe Carletto alleged in the civil complaint obtained by Billboard that Donnie McClurkin, now 66, repeatedly assaulted and raped him between 2007 and 2015 after he began attending the singer's Long Island church while struggling with his sexuality. Carletto joined McClurkin's Perfecting Faith Church in Freeport in 2003 at the age of 21, seeking guidance from the pastor who had written in a book 2 years earlier that he had overcome his sexuality through God. McClurkin, who was 44 years old at the time, allegedly helped the young congregant pray the gay away and took him under his wing as his personal assistant. The pair traveled together on business trips where McClurkin began allegedly sexually assaulting Carletto. Carletto claimed that in 2007, the three-time Grammy Award winner forced him to have sex in a California hotel room. A similar pattern of alleged assault continued during several trips to Atlantic City, New Jersey, Manhattan, and his home in Long Island. Throughout this period, plaintiff attempted to quit on multiple occasions. Defendant, however, denied plaintiff's requests, further coercing him to stay by telling plaintiff that his deliverance and purpose were tied to defendant. Carletto quit his job with McClurkin in 2008, though they remained in each other's professional lives. The Speak to My Heart singer, however, allegedly continued sexually abusing Carletto, raping him in a Florida hotel room in 2012 and in Boston and Niagara Falls in 2013. In 2013, McClurkin allegedly sent an email pictured in the suit attempting to apologize to Carletto for being a dirty old man and groping him. I am the actual epitome of a desperate, dirty old man, groping a young man who is just looking for a friendship and close platonic relationship with someone he looks to for help, guidance, and spirituality. You don't have that desire for me, and I shouldn't have it for you. I forced myself on you, McClurkin allegedly wrote. During that last alleged incident in 2015, the pastor allegedly engaged in further sexual conduct. As a result of the foregoing, plaintiff has sustained injury, emotional pain and suffering, physical pain, emotional distress, celibacy, pain and suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. Carletto is now seeking unspecified monetary damages from McClurkin. In a statement to Billboard, McClurkin's attorney, Greg Lissy, said Carletto's claims are categorically false and contradicted by the real facts. At no time did Pastor McClurkin engage in any form of sexual abuse, assault, or sexual coercion of Mr. Carletto. The claims set forth in the lawsuit grossly mischaracterize their interactions, which occurred over a decade, and some accusations over 2 decades ago. Lissy did not respond to the post's requests for comment. McClurkin said sold roughly 13 million albums throughout his career and has won over a dozen awards, including 10 Stellar Awards and 2 BET Awards. Well, I mean, if the email's confirmed, he did say, he apologized that he forced himself on this man. So that's akin to admission. So I don't know. This is categorically false. So absolutely nothing happened. So in that case, this guy's making all this up and is shaking him down because he wrote a book about being gay, but, he prayed the gay away, whatever, and this guy thought he could, extort him or whatever. But the other thing would be, no, they did have an affair and then it broke up and went bad. Now the guy wants some money out of the deal. Could be that. Or it's exactly how he describes it. He really thought there was a way to pray the gay away. And ended up having sex with an older man. Well, that's too bad. But, of course, McClurkin, successful singer, apparently. I've never heard of him. But nevertheless, it sounds like he had a lot of success in the gospel field. And so the guy's, looking for some money there. But, yeah, maybe this was all emotionally crippling and whatnot and all that stuff. So, There you go. And I mean, you got that email. That's going to be a tough one to defend against, huh? I mean, he's sitting there, oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't have forced myself on you, you know? Yeah, that you're going to have to, you're going to pay this guy. Yeah. So there you go. I guess he didn't pray the gay away after all. Well, better luck next time.
This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin.
Sometimes I feel fat and unattractive. But then I go shop at Walmart, where the average customer is at least 400 pounds, and I'm nowhere near in that ballpark, so I feel great. Thank you, Walmart.
Yes, Walmart, where you can simply look around and feel better about yourself. Unless, of course, you're a regular.
All right, here we go with Scarlet, or Two-Face rather, in Photoshop. So, let's see here. I guess I'll go for this color. Do a little bit of a base. Something like that. This is after some sort of burns, whether chemical or otherwise. Down her neck, all that. Maybe it's affected the hands as well. I don't know. I didn't even do much damage in the drawing for the hand, but hey, we'll go with it, you know? I don't know. Then let's see. Dark purple, or that's too much like blue. Maybe like this. Yeah. All kinds of messed up, you know. And obviously, you know, hey, she was a beautiful gal. Now look at her, you know. Do all this. And then yeah, I don't know. And I'm not entirely certain if they tried to do it like Gilda. That maybe she starts wanting to murder the people who killed her husband, and that becomes the thing, and she's more of a, you know, she's wanting more vengeance, and Batman's sort of sympathetic to that because of what happened to her husband and all that. But he's got to bring her in and all this sort of thing. Meanwhile, they've said the Joker will be in it. I guess he's still locked up in Arkham, but odds are for that, and he'll probably have a few scenes, and then you find out that he broke out. So it could be something like that, and they'll set that up for the next movie or something, you know. Oops. But, I don't know. Okay. Wonder why it's... Huh. Jeez. I guess I'm going over the same thing. Crap. Whoops. Well, we'll have to fix it in a bit. All right. Whoops. Okay. There you go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yip, de dip, de doo. Whoop, whoops, whoops. There you go. And kind of mess with that a bit. Now, I can't have it do this. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's see here. No, gotta fix all that. I don't want that there. Wait, all right. Yeah, all right, that'll work. This. Okay. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. Don't want any of that. No. She might be a comic book villain, but we don't want her depicted with bad dandruff. Alright. Oh, damn, damn, damn. Oh. There we go. And we're going to want this. We'll make it like that. For the coin. Coin, coin, coin. There we go. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if her legs would get burnt. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do this. Okay. And then, I don't know, I guess unless they dye her hair a different color, they might. She'll more than likely be blonde. There we go. All right. Good enough. I guess maybe slightly different, but just where the hair on the other side, what's left of it is, just sort of grayed out and stuff. As far as the suit, we'll just say it's white, but we'll put some little blue in the shading here. Give it, something or to rather. A little bit for the shoes. And yes, after becoming all obsessed with duality because of a burnt face, she, of course, buys a bunch of clothes that also match with it. It's a lot of trouble to be a comic book villain. You got all your clothes got to change and stuff. You can't just, hey, look, I'm all messed up. Oh no. You're going to need a new wardrobe. Because, they're tortured people and stuff. And, well, they got to deal with things like that. So it's like, oh no. No wonder she had to kill all them people. Look what she's dealing with. Oh no. So, you think you have problems. Alright, so that ought to work for the next Nailsin ratings video discussing the rumor and possibility that this is what they're going to do, or the sequel to the Batman. And I think it's a dumb idea, but what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? There you go. Female Two-Face. Ta-da! Now, speaking of unhinged people, here we have Karmic, and I don't know, this one might make for a t-shirt or something, 'Cause he's always saying, let's do dirt. Like it's his challenge to people or whatever. So I thought that would be, the line coming out of this. And he's like, oh, I'll show you where the bear shits blood in the woods. That kind of thing. Oh. Nobody understands. Oh, jeez. Ah, damn it. It's always gotta make it so hard. Why won't it just work? There we go. Whoops. Wait a minute. I'm screwing up here. Yep. 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 I could put it like that. But this gonna have to remain white. And this we have the strange blue in it. All right. So now I'll select all these so as not to mess with anything else. And then we'll merely use a darkening of it all to achieve the elements of the dark black leather, but achieve its elements of shine and value. Yes, yes, yes. Through what else but shadow? And isn't that how it should be? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Alright, here we go. Alright. And we'll go for this. That'll work. And then, well, let's see how this goes. Oops. Damn it. There we go. Whoops. Damn it. How about this one? Yeah, see? 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 Yeah, see? Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. Alright, so gotta go do some patch work here. Yeah. There you go. Are you happy now? Now your ear's connected to your head. Okay. I know it's supposed to be like that. But I don't know, something got lost in the photographing of it or whatever. Anyway, here we'll borrow some of Scarlett Johansson's hair for Karmic's hair. There we go. It's okay, she won't mind. There we go. And we'll do this and that. Kia. Okay. We'll do some of this here. Alright. Oop. We need to add another element to this. Yes, yes. Damn it. Jeez, what's all this crap? I don't know, but it's going away. Okay. Okay. All right. Whoop. Oh man, still the wrong brush. There you go. We'll just go ahead and get rid of that. All right. And he's a real man from the Valley of Men, and he's had enough of everybody's crap. Not his own, of course, but everyone else's. Whoop. Well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. All right. Oh, wait. Yeah. It's pretty obvious how that can be fixed. All right. Once again, when in doubt, black it out. There you go. And that. All right. Oh, wait. Yeah, take that out. Yeah. Now, to add the, the ring light. Yes. I want to put a little glue on it. A little alto glue. Yeah. There we go. There you go. That's, a pretty, really accurate image. Yeah. I think so. Yep. All right. What's our next contestant? Oh, yeah. This is the one I did of, Blade or Win by 2. I don't know if he goes by one or the other now. Melton covered that whole Poltergon thing. I mean, he was there, but was Blade, I don't know, just decided everything was everybody else's fault and he was left out or something. I don't know. Whatever. He was, crying and whatnot, and mad at Melton and mad at Carl. So, managed to catch some of the background image he was using. So I took that, had to kind of paint it up a little because he was in it. So I took him out, then put his cartoon version. And then, of course, the characters living rent-free in his head, Carl Heberger and Patrick Melton floating around him as he's upset, giving his Blade sign. And there you go. Plus, Melton noticed that his glasses didn't seem to fit his head, so I shrunk the glasses down to address that. So, anyway, there's the cartoon of Blade. That's Felicia. I'll get to that in a minute. Here's one that I did earlier of a spat between the happy couple of Gino and Keanu. And so I had the orange bricks. That is the backdrop for his In Hot Water show. And I still haven't decided. I've already forgot what brand of beer it was. But I figured I could grab some design and stick that in there. But basically, we'll probably, I'm going to turn this into a comic strip type thing where she's, in her head thinking, please shut up, shut up, shut up. And him babbling on, about COVID, about Pat. Apparently he's mad at E-Rock now, or blames him for the failure of, or the end of Compound. I don't know. Is that? Yeah. And so he was just whining about that. And he had Garrett and Steve over, and they were trying to go along, you know, but well, what can you do? So that's pretty much the deal there. So there we have it. Perhaps trouble in paradise, but I don't know. So anyway, finally we have Ron Fuddle here. Did I do the? I think I did. Paint filter. No. Pretty basic, really. Let's see. We're gonna want this color to achieve the dirty blonde look. Yeah. There we go. There we go. The jacket. Let's see. Yeah, that would be a good color. Whoops, in the wrong layer. See what happens? Always know your layer, because it's always there. And you should always take care, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's see. Maybe this will work. All right. Yay. Yay. So, got some shirt on there. There, we've done her eyes. There you go. Same like the shadow cast on this part of the face. There we go. All right. And then we'll do the lips. There we go. Grin. That's grin. All right. Almost looks like a mugshot, though. But I don't think that'll ever come to pass. No. No. All right. Hey. there you go. Fuddle. Gianu. Blade. Karmic. Oh, and female Two-Face. See? All kind of, oh, I guess I ought to go ahead and well, maybe I want to keep it in the nah, screw it. This will work. There. Now I'll figure out some background for it. But there you go. That's what I worked on at the moment. That's great, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. Well, I tried. I guess that'll do it, and I'll be on my way, and hope you got some kick out of it. Oh, okay. Forgot to look at the, yeah. Hey, Thompson. Hey, Doug. Audio good? Well, that's good to know. Baxo Jazz says, hello, Mr. Nailsin. Hello, Baxo Jazz, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, too. Hey, Thompson, I haven't seen Karmic in days. Well, you know, says, I think he moved the show to Discord. Okay. The I'm sorry, man, I'm not getting it. But says you're right. It's a dumb idea, especially with Two-Face being female, handing critics and even shills so many jokes. Yeah, it's just a dumb idea all around. And if they follow it where, you know, both of them go nutty as a result of what happens, yeah, all right, there might be something there. But you know how Hollywood is. Look, they're just stupid. And for whatever reason, they just cannot let go of stupid. Hey, Thompson, do you like Rudy's cartoon? Oh, Rudy Vega, those cartoons? Yeah, those are hilarious. Yeah, those are a lot of fun. Hey, Thompson, it looks great, Doug. Why, thank you. All right, there we go. Yeah, I might put the this Karmic one in the Nailsin merch store and put that in there. But anyway, any crimes? Oh, well, yeah, I guess it was. I had a brief break of Nailsin news during the stream. Some gospel singer is being charged with sexual assault from a man, and the gospel singer wrote a book claiming that he prayed the gay away so that he wasn't gay anymore. And this guy thought he could help him do the same, but instead he just took advantage of him and sexually assaulted him. So apparently he didn't really pray the gay away. Yeah. So that's that particular Nailsin news story that I played earlier. So there we go. All right. I was at work all night, so I'm dead tired. So I'll be putting an end to this for now, and we'll catch up at a later date for another great live stream from, me. See, I'm so damn tired I can't think straight. Great crime story, stealing corpses. Yes, that happens from time to time. People just do that. There was a story, it wasn't a crime, but there's some new plastic surgery fad where they utilize the fat of the dead and inject that to sculpt people's butts and breasts and stuff, you know. And I talk about it in the latest episode of the Mr. Nailsin Show podcast. So you can check that out. It's audio, but, you know, you get that news story, the Pray the Gay Away stories in there, and a new episode of Night Night. So, oh boy, it's all kinds of fun. And you can check that out over at radiomisfits.com or wherever you get your podcasts. All you got to do is, look up the Mr. Nailsin Show, and you can subscribe to the Mr. Nailsin Show. It's free. Where the hell is my ending themes? Oh, there it is. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon.
This Monday.